Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to another real-time edit. Thanks so much for joining me on this one today. I have this lovely trio of black skimmer chicks to edit, so let's jump right into it. We'll start with the crop. Just gonna go in tighter to get rid of like the bill of the adult on the right, and then the bodies of those up top there. So just coming a little tighter. It feels like I'm slightly crooked, so a little rotation there. I really like the big offset here, and I'm just gonna kind of stick with it. All right, so next up, oops, hit the wrong button. Let's see, let's get that going. All right. So for anyone that's curious, I've never really explained, but I'm always making adjustments like this when you don't see my cursor move. So I'm lightening exposure. I'm going to lift up the shadows, bring the blacks back down, shift the white balance a little bit less green and a little bit warmer, and maybe too far I went there. In any case, and then I'll probably just go a tad more with the exposure and then drop the shadows and blacks a touch. So I do all that via keyboard shortcuts, and I use this lovely software up here called PFixer. And I believe the company is Pusher Labs, Pusher Labs, if you just look them up. So it's software that actually works with uh, a MIDI hardware board that I have that has sliders on it that I can adjust Lightroom with. But I don't use that all the time. A lot of the times if I'm just doing one image, I don't bother setting all that up. I only use that if I'm doing a large batch of images. I have a video on my YouTube channel about that board and how it works. If you're curious, you can look that up. But in the meantime, just having the keyboard shortcuts is really nice because you can keep your eye on the image out here and make those changes. Like I can go, lighter. That's too light, so I'll bring it back down. So somewhere in there looks pretty good. But you can just make all these changes, including white balance, exposure. I have it set up for shadows, highlights, blacks. I don't really mess with whites much. I can do all of those things just from the keyboard, and I don't have to take my eye off the image. And so I personally find it a little bit faster as well than just going up here and physically moving each slider. So anyway, something to look into. All right, that's about all I'm going to do, I think, here in Lightroom. So let's head on over to Photoshop with this one and see what else we can do. I think first I'll probably clean up that little dark spot there, and then maybe just a couple of those darker spots over there I'll try and get rid of. And then I think what I'll do is try and just get these little guys to stand out a little bit more. But I want to leave everything kind of light, and I'll probably enhance the orange on the bills. All right, Photoshop, any day now would be great. Let's see if this is going to catch up here. There we go. Sorry about that. Finally got the image. Okay, new blank layer. Let's grab the clone tool here. We'll just kind of pop that out nice and easy. Clean that up. And then a few of these darker spots. All right, there we go. Not much else to clone. I guess I'll hit these real quick. I'm going to actually lighten the sand just a little bit more, so put a dodge layer on there. Just a little bit of lightening across there, and then maybe just a little bit across that back. That got a little too much on these guys, so we'll bring them back down. I kind of think it'll be cool if they're almost the darkest thing in the image. So, all right, I'm going to throw another dodge layer on so I can kick some catch lights up a little bit here. So let me get that started. I always recommend to be careful with catch lights. Like, you don't want to lighten the whole eye. You just want to lighten the areas that are already lighter. All right, and now I want to richen up and blacken up the actual eyes and some of the other areas that are kind of a little weak in contrast, which are like the bills here. There's this little guy's eye barely showing there. So we'll get a little bit more contrast on those. I'm actually going to do another layer to add a little bit more orange to those as well, so they stand out more. You can see there's already some happening there, but make it just a little bit more, kind of enhance that color. It's funny, the younger ones don't have as much color on them like that. I'm going to try just a shot of contrast on that bird, and that kind of helped a little bit. So we'll just paint some of that in there. And boy, I think that's going to be about it. So from that to that, yeah, definitely cleaned it up a little bit. It's looking a little bit blue now, somehow, oddly enough, when I lightened it. So I'm just going to do like 1 point of yellow There we go. That kept the color a little bit more where I want it. And then maybe just a little bit more dodge on this dude right here, just to kind of lighten up his face a little bit. There we go. All right, done. So the camera didn't have real good white balance to begin with, so let me get this saved. I'll get back to Lightroom and show you the total before and after. And I think the image was slightly underexposed, which is standard for me. That's pretty much how I shoot all the time. I'd always rather have an underexposed image than an image that's exposed a little too light. It's just not the look that I like. Even though I know a lot of people do that whole exposed to the right thing, I don't subscribe to that even a little bit. And not saying you shouldn't, just doesn't work for me and my style. All right, so there we go. Total before and after right there. Before on the left, you can see it's pretty dull. On the right, let me give that a minute to actually render here. There we go. Now we can hopefully compare. Come on, Lightroom, you can do it. Man, this computer is dragging lately. I really need to get me a new computer. Let me see if I can let this... It seems like it's fully rendered there. I don't know why it's not showing in the other view. Anyway, here we go. Before, after. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. If you want to learn more about what I am doing, head on over to rayhennessy.com. You can go to the online workshops, and you can do an online remote session with me, which is a great way to learn. Lightroom course. I do plan on putting out a Photoshop course in the next 4 to 6 months, so stay tuned for that. And I also have mentorships that are available to be signed up for. So thanks so much, everybody. See you on the next one.